quarterly training webinar. Aubrey and I started these webinars over a year ago to provide extra training and insight into what's new on OnStation. And throughout this webinar, we want to hear from you. So we have a chat in the side that you can open up, and it's going to be available for Q&A that I will be monitoring. So if you see me looking to the side, that's probably what I'm doing, responding to one of you. But you want to make sure that you're engaged in the chat, because throughout today, we're going to have prizes and giveaways to those who are active. So let's try it now. Can you go ahead and give a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me good? A little thumbs up action. There we go. Okay, we got some interaction there. All right, let's jump right into it. So we're going to go through to start who we are and what we do here at OnStation. We're going to give you some training on what's new, a sneak peek into what's upcoming at OnStation, and then we're going to end with a quick Q&A session at the end. So whenever you have questions, let us know in the chat and we'll be active in there. But let's start off with introducing our team and who we have here. In this webinar, we have the best people at OnStation to aid in the training. We have Aubrey Hadney, Support Manager, Bobby Thomas, QA Manager, John Williford, Customer Success Representative, and a new face, Olivia Hughes, as the Marketing Coordinator. You guys want to jump on, just say hi really quick?
Hi, really quick.
What's going on, everybody?
Awesome. Thank you so much. To everybody out there, you can contact our team anytime by calling or texting the support number or filling out a form on our website, but Olivia will put that information in the chat for you guys. But let's get into what OnStation is and then what's new. So OnStation is one app to find your stationing. It provides a unique role on a project so you can know exactly where you are relative to the project plans. By using OnStation, we're able to provide location-based project record on all of your projects from bid to close. If you're not a current customer, thank you for already being here. You're already innovative just by being here. In this webinar, we're going through some of the more specific nitty-gritty topics of OnStation. So follow up and book a demo with our team if you want a full overview of the platform. And if you are a customer, we're so excited to have you here. Thanks for using OnStation as your live digital stationing platform, and we're super excited to show you what's new. So let's get right into it with Aubrey.
Hi, everyone. So as you may recall at our last quarterly meeting, or if you weren't there, that's okay. We're just going to give you an update. We were talking about that we're working on our SOC 2 compliance. Just wanted to give you an update that we recently completed our SOC 2 Type 1 audit and received our final report to validate all of our processes and procedures. Woo, processes and procedures, girls, head excited. We're continuing our commitment to maintaining the highest level of data security by performing our SOC 2 Type 2 audit beginning later this year. So very excited. We're continuing on that path and just wanted to give you an update. All right, let's jump into one of our first features that we wanted to talk to you about. We're going to talk to you about two different safety features that we've implemented. One, the first of which being hazard alerts. What is a hazard alert? A hazard alert is a way to warn others of something. Maybe it's a downed tree, a power line, something that is hazardous that is going on the construction site. So in this case, you can see my little blue dot. I'm driving along the West 50th construction site, and as I approach a hazardous condition without me doing anything, just by coming in 100 feet radius proximity of that condition, I get alerted that something is going on. It is truly that simple and easy to warn others of something going on. And we're going to show you how easy it is to set that up. So those of you who are using our software or new, we talk about dropping flags a lot, and setting a hazard alert is just as simple as dropping a flag to denote what's going on. So in this case, I'm going to say that a tree has fallen. I'm going to drop that flag, and as soon as I do, you're going to see exactly where that has taken place, and you're going to see right in the middle a mark as hazardous option. All I need to do to enable the hazard condition is simply tap that mark as hazardous alert. When I tap that, it's going to go ahead and pop up a notification asking, am I sure I want to do this? Because marking this will warn others in close proximity. That's exactly what I want to do. So great. Go ahead and mark that. And it's showing a notification that I myself have marked this as hazardous. Now I want to make sure that I share my flag just like we always do. If you have default settings to share, it has already been shared for you. If not, I'm going to go ahead and click on my share button to share with others. This way, anyone who the flag is shared with will get that particular warning. So I'm going to tap on my share button, and you're going to see that I go ahead and share with others. And again, right there, that's all I've done. Just sharing and marking as hazardous is as simple as that to make others aware of a condition that's happening. Now, how do I turn it off? Okay, turning it off is just as simple. Whether you're the person that created that flag and shared that flag, or you've had that flag shared with, you're going to want to go ahead and mark what has been done to rectify that situation. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say that this has been repaired. As soon as I do that, then I can go back in and I tap just as easily to unmark as hazardous. Again, this doesn't have to be the person who marked it as hazardous. As long as you share the flag with others and you have the proper capture license, you can go ahead and mark and unmark those settings as hazardous. So right there in the field, have the ability with a click of a button, doing things you're already doing, documenting your work, documenting where things are, you can mark something as hazardous and alert your team accordingly without them having to do anything, just by coming in close proximity. Okay, Aubrey, what about if someone isn't using OnStation and I want to set some kind of alert or warning to alert the traveling public that conditions are happening? We got you. Don't worry, we got you. Let's talk about our active worksite. So our active worksite is just that. It's the ability to alert the traveling public and others, OnStation users or not. Of course, we want you all to be, but regardless of the use of OnStation, to alert the traveling public that construction is happening. We have two different ways that you can do this. We call them defined and undefined projects. So what is Aubrey talking about? What is a defined project? Okay, a defined project, an active worksite, is simply just, we have your project plans, you've sent those engineering files to us, and you can find your project in OnStation. It is defined within OnStation. You can go, you can type in a number, and you're dropping flags, you're doing your work there. We OnStation know about your project. Think of that as the defined project. Okay, so now we've established what a defined project is. How do I enable active worksites? You simply want to make sure that you have your GPS enabled, and then you're going to tap a shield at the bottom to enable it. So we're just asking where your location is, and so enabling GPS, and then enabling the shield. These two powerful buttons will show us your location and then start sending alerts to the traveling public of where you are. It is not sending your personal private data. It is not saying Joe Smith or Jane Jones is right here. But what it is doing is sending two ways the notification that construction is happening, that work is happening. We are doing this securely, we're doing this anonymously, but we're doing this with your safety in mind. So as more and more of you click on that active worksite in those locations, more and more notifications will be sent two ways to alert. Again, not saying you were there, but saying construction is happening in this area and to slow down. This is in the case of a defined project where we have your engineering files and you're going in and dropping flags and doing your work. What about undefined? Okay, let's talk about what undefined means. Undefined is just, all right, I have OnStation, I'm driving down the road, I don't have a project mapped out, but I see a sign is down. I maybe see something is in the road. I am stopping my truck to do something and I want to be safe. Maybe you're the first to start marking out that particular project before the files come to OnStation, and you're just mapping this out. You're the surveyor. Whatever the case may be, this is for the cases where we do not have your project files yet in OnStation. Okay, so you're going to hit the undefined, and what it's going to do is bring up a map of the United States because this is available anywhere. When we hit the undefined and you hit the map of the United States, we again still need to ask you to enable the GPS. So you'll see in a second, it's going to toggle GPS and enable that. And because we need to know where you are to notify the traveling public. We're also going to make sure that you enable the shield as well. Have a little bit of a hiccup with with this showing, but that's okay. We'll show it in just a second. It's all right. It's all right. But the same concept applies. Whether you gave us your project files or did not give us your project files, we need to know where you are. You need to enable GPS. Now, this might already be on by default. Hopefully, you've already have your settings so that GPS is enabled. But just showing you, if you don't, you click that little arrowhead icon on the top to enable GPS. And then once GPS is enabled, we want to make sure that we are broadcasting to the Waze. So you want to tap the shield again to just say, hey, I want to run active Worksite. Now, run active Worksite in the background is an option. What this means is if you close your app, or the OnStation app, maybe you answer a call, you text, you go to something else on your phone. I don't know about you, but I'm toggling between a bunch of different apps on my phone at all times. Running active Worksite in the background will ensure that that continues to broadcast your location, even if you're not active in OnStation. So we recommend that setting. If you don't want that and you want when you're outside of OnStation for that to not keep tracking, you can simply toggle that off. Do not run in the background. But at any rate, in an undefined situation, you are simply stopping somewhere on a roadway, on a highway, on a thoroughfare, wherever it may be, and saying, work is happening here. I am here, slow down. So we've got you covered regardless if this is a defined project, i.e., we've given you our project files OnStation. I know I'm going to be in this area and I'm going to turn this on, or undefined, I'm doing work, it is impromptu, or I just haven't communicated the project files to OnStation yet, and I want to alert the traveling public. We're looking out for your safety. Safety is number one. We've been talking about this. I know you've heard John talk about this a lot. Here we finally are able to talk about it and show it, and we are very excited about it. Now, for the active Worksite, it is an add-on, and if you have questions about that, you can reach out to us to get more information. But the good thing is it doesn't matter what your license is, whether you're capture, locate, data, it is available no matter what, because this is anonymized data that we are sending out. And once you turn it on for your organization, it is available for all projects, all users, regardless of licensing. The hazard feature is already there for anyone dropping flags and with a full capture license already, so don't have to do anything. It's already present in the software. Those are two things that we wanted to tell you about for the safety. I'm going to pause to see if there's any questions before we go on to the next topic.
We do have a couple questions, Aubrey, so I'm going to shoot them your way because they are active Worksite specific. So I wanted to during this part of the webinar. But how does work in rural areas where they don't have the best connection? How does that work with active Worksite?
It's a great question. So we right now, this is a brand new feature. We can't speak to all the statistics of how things might work, but what we can tell you is that, you know, the communication on the phone and your device is dependent on a lot of things. How new is your phone, you know, your Wi-Fi connection, but we are polling your phone every 30 seconds to see where you are and continuously sending that information through iCone to Waze. So even if you have a hiccup or something happening, we're continuing to pull and send that aggregate of information out to iCone and Waze so that we'll get that in a timely fashion out. So we keep polling, and after 30 minutes and over 50 meters, if you've left that area, we'll give a notification to say, hey, looks like you're no longer in that area. We're no longer tracking you. So again, it's not just, oh, I dropped my internet for a second or this happened. We're continuing to pull and look for your information so we can send that out to get the best, most reliable and up-to-date information.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same with undefined projects as well.
Correct. In either scenario, we are treating them the same way because we know no matter what, if we have your project or not, your safety is still important. So regardless of it's defined or undefined, absolutely, we are treating it with the same polling, same mechanism, same urgency.
Awesome. Another question we had specifically with active Worksite: what public users have access to Waze, and does Waze link directly to Google Maps?
I'm not sure about Waze and Google Maps, so I'll pause on that one, but I will say that anyone has access to Waze. You do not need a license. This is free. Waze does integrate with a lot of different car mobile apps and other things. So this is available wherever Waze is available in broadcasting. This will be available. You can pull up right now and log on to Waze and see things that are going on. And this is why we're anonymizing the data. We're showing that construction work is happening. We're showing that things are happening in that area, but we're not sharing your data. We're not sharing that you are physically there, but just that there is workers present to slow down. So being mindful of that data, but showing it so that anyone doesn't have to purchase anything to do anything to see that that traffic is going on.
Yeah, I was also told that Google owns Waze, and
Oh,
the
okay.
more usage there is on Waze, that's going to be pushed to Google Maps sometime
Okay.
soon. So
Thank you. Thank you.
the more the traveling public is using this on Waze, we can get them to hopefully get it on Google Maps. But another
Absolutely.
question we had, last one, and then I'll kind of move on from Active Worksite. We'll save the rest for the Q&A. But do we have to do anything in the portal to identify which projects will utilize Active Worksite?
Nope, you don't have to do a darn thing. You just have to make sure that your organization has this add-on, and the person in the field has the flexibility to say whether, again, this could be when you're driving to dinner, this could be when you're on the work site. Once you have that app installed, you are turning it on your phone. The use is in the user's hands to say and submit those warnings and alert the traveling public. So no, you don't have to do any enabling. Per person, per project, the individual person on their phone just has to tap and say, I'm here. As long as we enable GPS and you enable that, that is going to continue to broadcast regardless of the condition.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to cut in. We'll save the rest of the questions for the end, but anytime you have questions, just keep putting them in the chat. We do have our first giveaway. Our first giveaway is going to, give me a second, I apologize, Andy Jacobs. So thank you for registering. Thank you for being here. For the email that you registered with, we're going to send you a little gift card that you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner on us. Thank you so much. John's repping McDonald's for us here, but they got good coffee. I think they got good hash browns, but we'll be in touch with you, Andy. Thank you for being here and for registering with us. If you want a chance to win, we still have opportunities. Make sure you stay here, stay active in the chat. All right, go ahead, Bobby. I'll send it to you.
Hey, let's do it. And yes, those hash browns are delicious, but I always go McGriddle. But yes, thank you for the handoff. Let's talk about plan sheet overlays a little bit. We're doing big things here at OnStation, as you guys can see. You just got a taste of our new product, Active Worksites. Now, this is something that you guys have requested, a majority of you, or a lot of you, I should say, and been excited for. So for those of you who are not familiar with this so much yet, this one is giving you the ability to take your PDF plan sheets and overlay them on the map, so they're right there for you to reference along with your stationing, location, hard copy plan sets, and which is great for you guys, so you never feel like you have to bounce between both your project map and your PDF plan sheets to get additional info on exactly where you are in the confines of a project. Now, an awesome thing also regarding this feature is that you never lose any map functionality. So after placing these layers on the map, you're still able to drop, share flags, and retain all the abilities you would typically expect within your project in OnStation. So I'll also say that these can typically be utilized on a project where you would see exit ramps, roundabouts, other data dense locations where a lot of information is provided from your plans. And I will mention that this is a feature that comes as a package. So you can also talk to John Williford, who you'll hear from a little bit later in this webinar, our sales team. And this can all be done via the project submission in the portal, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. But we think of this as another game changer. We've already had some organizations get their hands on this a little bit and had feedback from them, and they've been loving it. So as we continue to kind of improve the product, bring you exactly what you need out in the field, we look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about it. But make sure you guys reach out to us, activate those plan sheets, and let us know what you think. With that being said, we'll bounce over to meta design layers.
Can I
So-
pop in really quick, Bobby?
Yeah, of course.
We
Go for it.
have 2 quick questions here. Will this work for new construction?
Say that again.
Will this work for new construction?
Yes, it will. So for this or this feature specifically, you'll be able to bring in these plan sheets. And like I said, you can reach out to John or our sales team to get these implemented. But via the portal submission and the project submission, and this being a package, you will be able to purchase this in 8 plan sheets per set. Now there's no limit to that. As you saw in that video, I was cycling through, turning on multiple ones. But yes, to answer your question, it will be available in new construction.
Awesome. And Ryan, I hope that answered your sheet limit question. If not, just let us know in the chat and we can get in contact with you a little bit more. But let's move on to meta design layers.
Cool. Let's do it. So yes, now on the meta design layers, you saw the way we accessed those plan sheet overlays was via the layers menu, as you're seeing here on your screen. So continuing on the topic of layers, we're happy to showcase that we have some new functionality, always adding something, continuing an update. So when it comes to those project layers that can be toggled on and accessed the same way, these layers can represent multiple things, as a lot of you already know, of course, depending on the project and your daily responsibilities, drainage, ruts, striping, electrical, and all those things. I do want to say that these are similar to the layers that you all have already become accustomed to viewing and accessing on your projects, just on steroids, as we like to say, I like to say. So to break it down a little bit further, those same layers that you have submitted with all your project files can be accessed via the layers menu, like you're seeing in the video, within the app. And when you toggle them on, you'll have the ability to click on each color highlighted line on the map, and a pop-up will essentially pop up like you're seeing on your screen, displaying all of that info that essentially tells you what the layer is. So that's like your layer name, the project it's associated to, the file name, the length, the shape, and all those good things. And this will be pretty typical for each layer that you actually upload. This is going to be great for you guys to utilize, especially when it comes to knowing exactly what you're looking at. And a couple additional things to note would be this meta information is commonly contained in your DWG, DGN, DXF files. So when you submit a new project with these file types, they'll appear on your project without you essentially having to request that, hey, I want these project lines to have metadata layers. And if your project was already created previously, before this feature was released, just make sure you submit a project update with those same file types that I asked for, and just let us know which layers that you want that metadata associated to. I know there can be a lot for each project, so if you have specific ones that you want these to pertain to, just note that in your project update. So yes, this project meta design layers. And I guess we'll move on to projects release, unless Cam, you have any other questions in the chat?
We do. We're getting questions this time.
Yeah.
One was asking, just what view is this? It looks a little bit bigger than the phone, and is this available on the phone?
Yes, so this video you're seeing is actually recorded in the web version of the app, so on your PC. But yes, this is going to be available in the application wherever you can download the application. So you obviously have this web URL as you see in the video, or you can download it on your mobile device, your tablet. But yes, essentially anywhere you have the application, you'll have this available to you. There is a little bit or slightly differences in the functionality of each, but the same feature that you'll be able to take advantage of anywhere.
And do these layers come from CAD files?
Yes. So you'll be able to bring them from CAD files. I think the actual first one that I popped up with that pop-up that came up on the screen was from a CAD file, and it was actually named CAD line. So yes, CAD files, and then those DWG or DWG, DGNs, and DXF files.
Awesome. All right, let's move into the next update, and then we'll get a little sneak peek into what's upcoming.
Cool. Let's do it. All right. So projects released. Projects. We're always talking about it. That's the baseline of our application. Get in there, play around with them. But the engineering team, shout out to them. They've been killing it. Clap, round of applause, snaps, whatever you want to do to appreciate them. Throw it up. we want to make sure we're giving them their flowers because they've been doing an awesome job with that. So in conjunction with all these new projects, there are multiple ways for you guys to search and view. One of your projects is already built, and in the app, if you need to use the submission process, if you don't find your project, but you can essentially go into the application on your home screen, and you'll have either a nearby tab to see what's close by. You'll have your organization tab to see what's associated to your organization, or you'll have the little globe in the top left-hand corner of the app to pull up this map that you see on your screen here, and see exactly what projects are already live in different states and in your surrounding areas. So plenty of resources for you guys to find projects that are already built. And if I'll also give a shout out to the marketing team as well, as they've been creating documents and emails to send out to you guys. The last couple months, I think those have been going live. So some of you may have already seen those, but that'll be breaking down a complete list of projects that have been built and should be live in the app. So definitely be on the lookout for those. Don't just send them to your spam folder, open them up, keep them in there. So thank you to the marketing team on that. And then I know we briefly touched on the project submission, so we'll jump into that a bit here. Now, there are some slightly new changes to it. You'll see some differences in the portal in general, which will go more in depth down the line in future webinars and all that. But if you're new to this process, if you're old to this process, you'll see something that's slightly different as we go through this video here. And we'll start there. Some things, some of those check boxes, you'll already know if you've already gone through this process, but that expedite submissions is a newer one. Now, don't try to spam it. Our engineering team definitely has to prioritize a little bit. So you can just type in your notes of what you need done or why you need the project done so fast. So if it needs to be done tomorrow, I can't promise it'll be done tomorrow if you submit today, but we'll try to get it out as quickly as possible. But like I said, just note your reasoning there. And then you go through your typical information, your project name, alternate names. If your organization knows the project by a more common name between your group, you can always put that in. Start, finish date, and then also special requests if you need anything done that isn't necessarily documented in files or anything special. Just document that and comment in that comment box there. After you're done with all that initial info, you'll be taken to this project files upload screen. Super straightforward. We make, like I say, with a lot of our different features, we make it extremely easy to kind of navigate. Even if you don't have us yelling in your ear and instructing you through it, you can pretty much figure it out. But it's nice to have this breakdown of your alignment files, your project files, or your project layer, excuse me, and your work items to just cycle through and add each one individually. Now, you see me kind of doing it here. Just click on that browse files and just make sure that you have these files on your computer. I know it can take a little bit of time for you guys to get those files for the project, but as long as you have them ahead of time, just select them. Make sure you're hitting that green upload button that I just tapped there. Otherwise, you'll have to come in here and kind of update the project at a later point, which isn't a big deal because, like I said, our engineering team has been killing it and they get that done quickly. But just make sure you don't have to take those additional steps. Verify, you'll get that on each screen you go next or hit submit. And I'll note that as the submitter or the creator of these projects for these submissions, you'll automatically be updated, notified of the progress and the phases, whether it's being built, whether it's being released, whether it's under review by the engineer team. You'll get all those email notifications. And on this page here, you'll also be able to add additional users to be notified as it goes through those phases. And here on this page, you see kind of a breakdown of the project itself. You see, for those of you who've already been through this process, that priority tab is new. You see it highlighted in red, and that's essentially from you expediting the project. So that'll be there when you click that selection. And like I said, if you forget any files, or you made a mistake in uploading the wrong files, you can. The best way to do that is just to cancel the submission immediately and then just correct yourself and resubmit it right away. There's no delay in that, and you can delete it from this menu as well. But you'll also get that verification pop up on your screen, making sure that you do want to cancel it or delete it from your list before you do so. So very high level, but just a quick overview of submitting a project and how easy that can be for you guys. With that, I'll throw it back to Kimmy. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So how do you add projects for approximate stationing using begin and end points in Google Earth?
So in Google Earth, or you can do that via on that initial screen when you're submitting the project. You can also check that approximate stationing project, and that'll notify us. Our engineering team will know what to do with that. They're great at sorting through that information, and we kind of just apply that checkbox so you don't have to apply additional notes in the comment section. So you can always just check that box when you go into that initial submission, and we'll know what to do with that.
And then one more, how long does it take for projects to be built?
It can vary a little bit based on size of the files, but we typically say 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So the best thing to do is as soon as you get those files, just upload them and we'll get it done as soon as possible. But we do have a lot that we're creating, uploading, but 2 weeks is the sweet spot for that.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby. All right, get your fingers ready. Be ready to type fast, because first in the chat to answer this next question will win our giveaway. Which app alerts the traveling public when active Worksite is turned on? We went through it earlier, but let's see. We already got it. Let's go, Evan. So the answer was Waze. Evan will be reaching out to you with the email that you registered for and get you your gift card so you can enjoy, this says dinner, but really breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, coffee on us. But thank you, Evan. We're excited to get you using it, but I'll get to John, who's going to go through what's coming, and then stick around and we'll go through another Q&A for any other questions that might be left.
Congratulations, Evan. If you're not getting a double quarter pounder with cheese with extra cheese, you're doing it wrong, my friend. So what's coming? I don't know. They don't tell me anything. My boss just tells me I don't smile enough. Hi, Jess. Anyway, what's coming up? World of Asphalt's coming up. That's in 2 weeks from today, or actually a little less than 2 weeks from today. You got to stop by our booth. See Jess, she's right there. She's smiling like me. Here we go. Booth 6861. Remember, booth 6861, you'll have a ton of knowledge on how you can be more efficient, safer, and faster on the job site. Awesome stuff over there at World of Asphalt. Moving on to our analytics dashboard. You've seen the precursor to what's to come here and the system activity inside of the portal. Active user breakdowns, user license breakdowns, total users, user sessions. You will be able to see how many people are using your licenses, how they're using them on the job site, where they are, using those flags, the flag usage, chat usage, all that stuff, even broken down by user. So that's what our analytics dashboard is kind of ramping up towards, but you'll see the precursor to what is going to become already available in the portal. Permission sets, everyone's going to have right now, as we're going towards our new license structure, that data license has that kind of super user structure to it where we can do things in the field as well as have access to that data portal. But maybe you don't want them doing everything that's available in the data portal. Do I want them to create user groups, create tags, bulk upload flags? We'll be able to kind of hone that in to say, all right, what permissions do you want this user to have, that user to have, and that user to have? So they're not just a super user that can go in and maybe add things you didn't want there, right? Updates. Do you guys remember way back in August when I sat here and said, we got something coming that's going to be about your safety? And then in November, we got something coming that's going to be about your safety. And then today, Aubrey was like, safety, active Worksite. All you got to do is jump on every quarter, and we're here to tell you about all of these updates. Just since July, since I started in July, there's coming up on 100 enhancements and updates put in this app, all designed to make you safer, faster, and more efficient. That's what it's about. Safety. Efficiency breeds from that peace of mind that you're safe in the field. And that's what we're doing over here. So I can talk for another 20 minutes, but they're going to get upset at me. So I'm going to kick it back to them.
Awesome. Shout out to our dev team. Those updates are awesome. And all of our support team for always QAing it. Bobby, you're pretty awesome too with that. But let's have a Q&A time. Any other questions that we didn't have answered? Olivia, can you go through any of the questions we didn't have answered? And then throughout that, also, I think the chat's actually this way. We'll look through any more questions that are coming in the chat.
So we had 2 questions that we haven't answered yet. And the first one is for defined projects. If you turn the shield on and then enable it to run in the background, when you go outside the bounds and then come back in, will it automatically turn on? And that's
Great
for
question.
active work.
I'll take that one. So for a defined project, it depends on the amount of time that you're out and the duration. So what we do is we look at the bounds of that defined project. So let's say, there's a rectangle that kind of surrounds the project when you're giving it to us. If you go outside those bounds, more than 50 meters, and for over a half an hour, we will stop tracking you. We will notify you and say we're stop tracking you. If you come back in within those 30 minutes, it will continue to track you. But if you go outside for more than 30 minutes, and again, outside means more than 50 meters, outside of that project for more than 30 minutes, you're going to get an alert saying that we're no longer tracking you and you will have to re-enable it. So it depends on the length of time that you're outside of that. If it's 27 minutes and you come back in, we're going to start tracking you again because we'll see you're within that. But outside of that 30 minutes, when that 30 minutes hits, that's when we stop tracking. We will notify you. You'll get a pop-up that'll notify you. You'll also usually see, this is just something we saw in testing, you'll see an iPhone or Android, a lot of times the location services will just kind of stop to help save your battery as well. So you'll see that just from your own phone settings too.
Awesome. Okay, so moving on, this one kind of goes with the last one as well. For undefined, is there any way where I don't have to keep turning it on and off?
So let's clarify, for the undefined, we are looking at that particular spot within 30 minutes and a 50-meter vicinity. So, you pull over to the side of the road, we're looking at that the closest lat long point or coordinate, that roadway coordinate within that 50 meters. As long as you're staying within that and navigating around within those 50 meters in 30 minutes, it will continue to notify that that's going on. Similarly, because we treat these both the same, your security and your safety is so important. If it's over 30 minutes and outside of 50 meters, we will stop tracking that. You will have to enable it again. So thought being, if you're moving along and doing different things, that's probably more defined work. But again, this is brand new, guys. As you start using this, we are so eager to hear our end users' feedback of how this is working, what's working well, what else they might need, what you could add. So right now, we're open to, well, always, we're open to feedback, but right now we do anticipate that for an undefined, you're turning it on, you're staying within those 50 meters, and then if you're traveling somewhere else, you're going to re-enable it.
Awesome. Thanks, Aubrey. Ryan asked in the chat, is there any way to have it move with my location?
For a defined, it does, as long as you're staying within that region of that 50 meters outside. Again, when we have a defined project, usually you guys are sending us those engineering files, and this is happening on this roadway or these roadways over these many miles, this lat long coordinate points, these mile markers and locations. As long as you're at any point within that range, it will continue to move with you for defined. For undefined, at this moment, no, it does not. It's just looking undefined means one spot, you are here. This is what's going on. I'm doing work right now, right here. I'm stopping and I'm doing something that I want the traveling public to know about. If you go on to move again, okay, just click it again because you're going to be in a new spot. You're going to be in a new location. Again, this is brand new. As you guys start to use it, if there are other scenarios you guys are thinking of, we are going to be all ears, and we're going to be listening into how this is working, what's working well, and what's
not. Doris also asked in the chat, so once we buy the active Worksite, everyone who has it has an active license is covered?
That is correct. That is correct. So whether you are using a capture, a data, a locate, this is not about your ability of what you can do in the app. It's just broadcasting that somebody is somewhere. So regardless of license type, all users are covered and have that ability to turn on that active Worksite shield to say, this is where I am. Doesn't matter if you can drop a flag or not. Doesn't matter if you're, someone who's pulling data or not, regardless of license type. Once you enable this for your organization, everyone is empowered with that safety feature.
So I got another question too, and that was, how do you request further training with our team?
Oh, I love that question. There's a couple different ways you can do that. You can go to our website and there is a contact support and the OnStationApp.com. You can contact support, and in that support, whether you're asking for help or training or you found a bug, you can ask for training there. We also have I believe we have a link within the app itself. You can click the contact support. If you're a current user, you can also click there. And then again, it'll send you the same link. You can ask for, hey, I have a question, I have a problem, I need training. So we have a couple different ways, whether you're a current user or you want to learn more about that. Similarly, in the contact us, we also have a link to request a demo as well.
Awesome. So Cami sent that link in the chat if you guys want to click on that. And if anybody doesn't have any more questions, I'm going to send it back over to her to wrap it up.
All right. Well, you can also contact us by filling out the survey. We'll get in contact with you after that if you have any further questions. Only takes about 2 minutes, and you will get another chance to win a gift card. But just want to wrap it up, say thank you so much for joining us. Our team is super excited about these new updates. We hope that you're just as excited, and we'll have more of these coming soon. So make sure you follow us, stay up to date to be able to be a part of them. But thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Stay safe out there.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.